Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tiffany. You guys can call me Tiff. And my channel is all about beauty and lifestyle. I'm a full-time mom, wife, and esthetician. So if that sparks any of your interests, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload, which is every Friday. As for today's video, we are going to be tinting, threading, mapping out my brows while also telling a true crime documentary story. This is something a little different. I just watched this documentary. It's called The Unknown Number, The High School Catfish. It's pretty popular right now. But if you haven't heard this story, sit down, grab your popcorn. It's a true story, by the way. There is going to be spoilers in here if you haven't seen it. If you want a quick recap, watch my video. But I still definitely recommend to go watch this on Netflix because it's a good one. But yeah, if you guys want to see how I do my brows and you guys want to listen to this insane story, then go ahead and keep watching my video. It starts off on a small town in Michigan. It follows a girl named Lauren and a boy named Owen. This part of Michigan was like a really small town. They don't have anything, like nothing at all. Not only do they not have anything to do, but everyone knows everyone. Any business that you have there or whatever is going on, everyone knows about it. Because what else are you gonna do? Lauren and Owen, they actually were like dating. Since they were like kids, they kind of grew up together up until high school. And they were dating the entire time. Everyone loved them. They called them the, you know, couple goals and whatnot. You know, they're getting ready to go to this like Halloween party and what. And someone starts texting them. Kind of mean stuff, like they want them to break up type of stuff. It was a little odd. They kind of like pushed it under the rug. This is where the pot is gonna get stirred. So at first the messages were kind of just mean, like no one likes you, you look ugly, blah blah. But they started to get kind of like violent and sexual, which was very weird. This documentary and what happened reminded me of watching Pretty Little Liars. Every time they would get a text, it'd be like Pretty Little Liars, like A is texting us. They would send Lauren, the girlfriend, text messages like he wants sex, like blowjobs and making out. He doesn't want your sorry ass. And there was a point where they kept telling her like your life would be better off. It's just like, holy, okay, like, this person really hates me type of stuff, which is very scary. Not only was like a little one message here and there, it started getting to like 30 to 50 messages a day. So like while they were in school, it was just insane. And like, who has the time to do that? I decided to do these story times knowing I can't multitask, but here we are. I looked up some research of when they started dating. They started dating since October of 2020, which they were in 7th grade. The text messages started coming in August of 21. So they dated for a couple months and then the messages started. Because of the messages and everything, it really just put a strain in their relationship, which I don't blame them because that is a lot to handle. As a teenager, like I said, stuff like this only happens in shows or movies. Pretty Little Liars is one of them. So they did end up breaking up around like November of 2021. So this was not even that long ago. So they thought, you know, after they broke up, the messages would stop, but they didn't. They never really stopped because that's what they thought, that, you know, if they broke up, then maybe they would be left alone. But no, the messages just kept coming. Because they didn't stop, they started pointing fingers at classmates. Remember, we're still in a small town. Everyone was just kind of like pointing fingers, like parents, the students, principals. Like, it got to the point where the FBI got involved. They went to cops and they're like, it's just not stopping. It's getting to the point, you know, people are telling other people to. Once the FBI got involved, that's where everything kind of changed. So I just mapped my brows. Now we're going to start threading. I would do wax, but my skin has just been so sensitive, hence why I'm not wearing much makeup today. Like, look at it. So, no. So I've been threading them, and I've gotten actually really good at it. So anyways, oof. Sorry, this part kind of hurts. I'm like, I don't know if I can multitask and do this at the same time. The cops get involved, and everything they do, they can't figure out like who's sending these text messages. They've been watching cameras at the school. Once a text comes in, they start checking cameras at school to see who was on their phone, who's using it, and blah blah. They said that it was like kind of difficult to pinpoint and see who's been actually on their phone texting, because in high school everyone has their phone. Everyone was texting, everyone was being a teenager. Like I said, they pinpointed to a certain girl. I think her name is Chloe. She was known as a bully. Like, even her parents said that she would always get in trouble and get called into the office. So because she's had issues in the past of like being a bully, in the documentary she claims she wasn't. And there was a scene where these girls got in trouble for throwing carrots at Lauren, I think, or someone. And then they claimed that they didn't get in trouble because they didn't do it. Yeah, I don't know. She would get in trouble for just having a strong personality, I guess. We'll say that. So they were all pointing fingers at that girl, which also kind of sucks because it was not her. But she got blamed for it for like a whole year. I guess people would bully her to just admit it and say it was her when it wasn't her. And even her parents like questioned her. That part kind of just was sad in a way because they blamed her for all of this. It also came to a point where the principal and the cops were like, well, why don't you guys just change their phone number? It didn't matter to them. They're like, well, no, why should we change our stuff if the person is always going to text them? And it's true. Even when they would block the number, the person was using like a messaging app or something. I'm gonna just thread my brows real quick off camera because I can't concentrate, and I don't know why I try to do these videos when I'm just like, I can't multitask. So I'll be right back. Threaded my brows. God, that was painful. But now for the final reveal. So because the cops couldn't figure it out, they ended up asking for help from the FBI. And this FBI took over and was like, okay, like, should be easy. They started giving the FBI all of the contacts. The app that they had, who it's pinging, like which phone number is it under, like which phone service and whatnot. It took him a minute to kind of like see and figure out, because at first he was not getting anything. And then finally, after doing research and research, these fake phone numbers kept coming back to one certain number. It was just like, okay, great. Whose phone number is this, you know? Well, he found it. He figured it out. The daughter's mother. Yep. The daughter's mother was sending those text messages to her own daughter, to the son. Even, actually, backtrack a little bit, after they broke up, Owen ended up getting a new girlfriend, and she texted her like, he's mine type of stuff. The entire time it was Lauren's mom. I'm gonna let that sink in for a little bit so you can process all the information. The FBI goes to Owen's mom and was like, we looked up the phone number and it was backtracked to one person, and that one person is Kendra. Lauren's mom, the one that was texting, her name is Kendra. The mom was like, no way. Like, no way. I don't believe that. There's no chance, because they were kind of like best friends at that point. They were both together in this trauma of their kids are being harassed. And so she was like, no, she can't be the one doing this. And he's like, well, we're gonna go to her house and, you know, let her know. That mom was just in shock and she could not believe it. He ends up going to Kendra's home. First they see Kendra and he's like, well, where's your daughter? We just need to talk to you for just a moment. He was like, we found out who's the person behind all of this. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, playing stupid. Then after, he's like, all of these messages, they only go back to one person, and that one person is you. And her face was like, oh. I don't know if she thought she was gonna get away with it, but she didn't deny it. And he's like, so you were the one doing it? And she was just like, at first, no. Like, the first text wasn't me. And then after, I took over. I think the whole text was her. Like, from the start. That scene was just insane to me. Then they told the daughter, Lauren. And then the mom kind of goes in like, I'm so sorry, and starts like hugging her, and the daughter doesn't know what to do. She's like hugging her back and just in shock. The cops are like, okay, well, we tracked it to this phone, there's another phone, you better go find it, or else we will tear this place apart, you know. They call the husband, and he is at work, and he is livid. Not only while during all of that, their marriage was falling apart because she left her job to do the texting full time. I don't know if she got fired. She says she got fired. She faked a second job. So their marriage was already collapsing just financially, but then this was like the cherry on top for him. He's like, why would you do that to our daughter? Why would you tell our daughter to herself? Valid point. I don't get that either. She ended up getting arrested December 2022. She served 5 felony charges, including stalking a minor and then using a computer to commit a crime. Also, to mention, she is an IT person, so she knew how to do all of that stuff. Not that it's like it takes a genius to do anything. I don't know. It was just in her work field. August 2023, she pled guilty for 1 count of stalking a minor. The judge sentenced her from 19 months to 5 years in prison over this. In reality, she only served a year because she's out. She got out August 2024, so she's been out for a whole year. This whole documentary is out. Lauren is now studying to do criminology. Kind of makes sense because of everything she lived through. Her relationship with her mom, it is absolutely destroyed. She mentioned that she wants a relationship with her mom. I can see it's hard. Like, the person you love the most and that's supposed to love you the most ever did that stuff. And then she gets caught and she's like, no, like, I didn't mean it. I didn't do this. Like, I don't know. It's a traumatic event to understand. One day maybe she'll realize, like, this relationship is not healthy for me. But everything with their own time. She's the one who went through it, not us. We just see it kind of differently because we aren't the ones going through it or feeling it or doing any of it. Owen and her do not talk anymore, and they will never talk. He stated that in the documentary. He will never talk to Lauren or her mother ever again because her mother did give him the creeps anyways. Lauren was basically told that she was ugly, unwanted, and that she should off herself by her own mother. Other classmates were blamed for these actions. Reputations were kind of ruined. Friendships were broken. Relationships were broken. Marriages were broken. And in the end, the person everyone should have trusted the most was the one behind it. Betrayal does cut deep when it's family. Would you ever forgive your mom if she did this? I try to be in her shoes, and I would be hella traumatized for sure. I would be devastated if my mom did that, and I would most likely have to cut ties with her. My brows are officially done. They look amazing now. The story is spilled. If you guys have not watched the documentary, it is on Netflix. To get the full-blown like suspense into it, I suggest you watch it. Even though you kind of know the storyline, you get to see the mom's reaction to things and how she talks and how everyone's reaction to things. You know, you'll create your own opinions on certain things, but it's a crazy story. It's a true story. This really did all happen. I wish Lauren and Owen and everyone that went through this, I wish them the best. I don't know, just healing from this trauma because it's a really big trauma. This might be my last video on me doing my brows on camera with doing a story. I cannot multitask. I can't do it. So the next time might have to be a voiceover. I needed to do my brows. I needed to look somewhat presentable. They were getting a little bushy. Let me know what you guys think about this story. If you guys watched it, and if you haven't, go watch it. Then come back and comment down your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow my social medias at Tiffanycherre and Cherrebeautique, and I will be back with more videos.